Welcome back, everybody. Power Performance Podcast, episode 12. We have a special one today. We have Val Cohen on the show today. Val, just to introduce her a little bit, she is a CrossFit Games competitor in the lower adaptive extremity division. She's actually the 2021 Nobull Games champion in that division. So congrats, Val. How are you doing?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about, let's just open right up with the games. How were the games? Was it your first time? Let's get into all of that.
Yeah, it was amazing. I feel like I was like living in a dream for a week. I think it was just like, first of all, it was really cool to meet all the other competitors. And for me, like, I was a competitive gymnast my whole life, and walking into an arena like that big and like getting those nerves again, that was like the ultimate like happiness.
Yeah.
Like, I was super nervous. On the last day, I was talking to my coach in the car on the way to the energy center, and I looked at him, I was like, I'm so nervous. Like, I'm so nervous for this.
Yeah.
But like, what a gift.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
nerves are a good thing. Like those anxious butterflies, they're something that like a lot of athletes talk about, like they kind of chase that feeling. And it's more scary when that feeling goes away. You know what I mean? Let's talk a little bit about the lower extremity adaptive division. So correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first year it was at the games, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now let's talk about what that division is. I know that, first off, I know the adaptive divisions as well as like the masters divisions. A lot of those divisions are super like close-knit people. And do you communicate with a lot of other people inside of those adaptive divisions?
Yeah, so we all kind of became really good friends throughout the process. Like, this was the first time we were ever in the open. So I think like leading up to the games, we all were like, I got to know a lot of them through Instagram and stuff, and then it was cool to meet in person. I think the coolest part was hearing everybody else's stories. Like, we called them like our adaptive stories. So it's cool to like, everybody has their own totally unique story, and so I think that was the best part, to like hear everybody else's stories and how we all got to like the same place.
For sure. I know you probably know best, so I'll let you chat about it. Can you just explain kind of your division and what it like the lower extremity division, like what does it encompass, things like that? We can then get into your story, things like that.
Yeah, so in the lower extremity adaptive division, basically we all have lower extremity impairments that have, so either above the knee or below the knee, one part of our legs are not functional. Okay. So I think 3 of us had prosthetics. There are 2 of us that had 2 legs, and we all jump roped on 1 foot. Heck yeah. Which was, I think we were all like freaking out about that. But yeah, anyway, it's all lower extremity impairments, but all of us, our division, all of us can do movement standing, awesome. Which was, so there were a lot more adaptive divisions in the open than there were in the games. So I'm hoping that as years go on, they're going to include like all of the adaptive divisions in the games. Yeah. But for now, it was just lower extremity, upper extremity, neuromuscular. I think that was it. I could be wrong.
I think that was it. Real quick, now when it comes to those divisions being adapted into the games, for someone that was at the games, I was there, seeing like the masters, the teens, and now the adaptives, those first 3 days, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? Yeah, mm-hmm. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It really brought this like wholesome, like the full community environment, like at your normal gym. It was really like awesome to see. And like from an outside perspective, looking in on the masters and the adaptives especially, what you guys can accomplish is literally incredible. Like, I was making jokes with people that I was with. I was like, guys, do you understand how fit these people are? Like, if you walk into your gym, like most of them are going to put a beating on everybody there. Like, it's just a whole nother level. It's awesome. Let's get into your story a little bit though. So you touched on it a little bit. You're a competitive gymnast. Let's talk about where you're from, because we were talking about this earlier and it was kind of cool. So where are you from originally, and where?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Boston. I grew up in Boston. I got into gymnastics when I was little. My friends were in it, so I just did it and loved it. And then I ended up competing in college at Ithaca College, and it was like the best experience of my life. And my junior year, I tore my Achilles, and I had some major ankle surgery at the same time. So I came back for my senior year, and then I had the extra year of eligibility. So I stayed for my grad year. It's a really long story, but I'll try to sum it up.
Yeah, totally.
So I tore my Achilles for the second time, my grad year. Very, very rare to have an Achilles tear of the same tendon again. But I tore it out of my bone. So I tore it out of my calcaneus. So they had to anchor it in with 4 metal anchors back into my calcaneus. And then there's a bunch of wires that connect my Achilles to my calcaneus. And then I had another bone surgery at the same time. So that was, first of all, that was like super devastating because my whole life was gymnastics, and then it was done. But 7 weeks post-op, which is again like really rare, then 7 weeks post-op, I developed an infection that was, I'm glad they didn't like tell me at the time that it was life-threatening and limb-threatening. I'm glad they didn't tell me that. But the bacteria that was in there was like very, very, very dangerous. And so the bacteria got into all of there's wire stitches that are holding together my Achilles. So it got into that. And then it was like all over. So, which is really rare. And so I had emergency surgery to initially wash it out, but it basically like stayed in the metal because I have so much metal. I have a screw holding together my ankle. I have like a lot of metal from other surgeries in gymnastics. So the bacteria basically got into the metal in my ankle and was like living in there. Like, and I had 8 more surgeries after that. Yeah. To get me back to, I think it took me 5 surgeries to get back to being able to walk again. And that was like 2 years of not being able to walk, which was really hard as a 22-year-old grad student to not be able to walk for 2 years.
I mean, not being able to walk to game camp, like that's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's funny, like some of my friends in grad school, they never like knew me as having like 2 feet because I was like on crutches and in a boot for like the whole entire grad school. So they like met me when I couldn't walk and graduated when I still couldn't walk.
Now, how many years was grad school?
I was in grad school. I started grad school in I graduated undergrad in 2015, and then I started grad school the year after that, so 2015. And then I had 2 years of graduate courses, and I was also the GA coach for the gymnastics team, and I coached in the weight room there, and coached football and golf in the weight room. And then, so I'm actually still finishing up my master's thesis, which is in the final editing stages of sending it back and forth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So from there, right, collegiate gymnastics, and then all your surgeries and your incredible story from literally walking to now, like where did that story, let's get to the middle of the story. How did you find CrossFit? What was it like getting back into just moving? Like, what is the motive? Like, I don't want to say what is the motivation to move, but like, was it just a light bulb one day? Like, this is not like where this story is written? Like, how did it happen for you?
No, it's definitely not one day.
Yeah.
There were, I think it was so long. Like I almost forgot what like normal life was because it was like so long that I couldn't walk, and I was just like going through surgery after surgery, physical therapy, athletic trainers, like but yeah, so during that time, well, we started strength and conditioning my senior year of college. And I loved it, but I was only like a little while before I got hurt. And then all my friends in grad school, they were all strength and conditioning coaches. So they all like worked out together, and I like couldn't walk, but I was like, want to hang out with my friends. So I would like go to the weight room with them. And I just started like benching basically because I didn't have to stand.
Yeah.
So I like got into just like strength training, and then I don't know, I guess like when you're a gymnast in college, you always hear that like CrossFit is what retired gymnasts do. Like it's like what everybody, it's like when you retire, that's what you're gonna do, is basically like, so yeah, I decided to try it simply because there were a lot of upper body things, and like I couldn't use my foot. But like I don't know, I heard that CrossFit you get to do a lot of pull-ups and like handstands, and like I didn't need my foot for handstands, so I was like, maybe I could like go and try a little bit, at least I could do like something.
Yeah.
You know, and like meet some friends and whatever. So I basically went simply because I heard like it was what you do as a retired gymnast, and there might be like things that I could do without my foot.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Now, did you like, was your coming to CrossFit over here in Boston, or was it where you are now?
So it's actually in New York. So after college, so I went to college in Ithaca, and then I moved out to downstate New York. This is an upstate for college. I went to downstate New York for, I took a coaching job out there, 2 coaching jobs. And so yeah, after when I was there, I was like, yeah, it'd be really cool, like make some friends, because I was totally new to the area. Yeah. But I was like, can't really like join a beach volleyball league, or like, you know, like there's so many ways to like make friends and whatever. And but I couldn't do any of them. So I was like, I can do pull-ups.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's try CrossFit.
Pull-ups and handstand walking. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. So now where are you out of now? Are you still in Lower State New York? And what gym do you go to? Do you go to a gym? Are you a garage gymmer?
Yeah. So I moved out to Chicago for 2 other coaching jobs.
Nice.
And I found Feast Fitness. I'm like so glad I did. And I tried a bunch of CrossFit gyms in the area. And then I tried Feast, and it was like totally different, like way better. And yeah, it's been amazing. Like the support from the gym has been incredible. Like I have been totally humbled and blown away by the amount of support that the entire Feast Fitness community has given me. And then like, especially my coach, like I don't know if I can express how thankful I am for him and what he did for me for the
100%.
past year. You know?
Yeah, 100%. Now with your gym, they seem super like close knit and tight. We're gonna get into the games here in a second and kind of your overall experience. But like, for example, coming through the open or going out to the games, was it really cool to just know that you had that backing from like your community, especially for the first time, right? It was like the adaptive divisions. This was their first time. So it was like you guys weren't swimming in uncharted waters, but it definitely wasn't like clear cut on how everything was going to go, especially in the open, like the adaptive divisions, just all of that kind of being those forerunners and like those founding members to kind of do it for the first time. How was the response like from your gym, from your community and everything like that?
It was amazing. Like, and in the beginning, it was so weird because everybody was so excited. And I had no idea what to expect because obviously I could go watch the CrossFit Games, but it's not the adaptive division, it's not anything, you know, I had no idea what to expect. Nobody did, because it was the first year that we had it. But it was like truly like humbling how much support I had when nobody knew what to expect, you know? So that was, it meant so much to me.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Let's talk a little about the games. Let's talk about the fun stuff. When you first got there and you got showered in Nobull swag, was that your moment of like, holy crap, like this is actually happening? Or like, what was your moment? Like, was it stepping out on the field for the first time? Like, where did you just stop and be like, what is happening right now?
I must say, I was like joking. I was like, I can handle CrossFit, but like, that was like one of the first day when we registered, I was like, that was one of the most overwhelming experiences, but like overwhelming in a totally good way. Like, it wasn't overwhelming in a bad way. I was just like not expecting it. And it was, again, like amazing. Oh, totally like great, overwhelming positives. Like, so that was really cool to be sort of like treated like a professional athlete and treated just like everybody else in the games. Like all of the competitors were going through the same thing. And so it was really cool to be there with everybody else. And it was just like, that was really cool. In terms of like my moment, if I had to pick one moment that stuck out to me as like the moment, besides the last event, like that was really amazing. The double under workout, I think like that one just like meant the most to me, because I don't think any of us, but especially like I know I had never done double unders on one foot ever. Like the first time that I ever jump roped was the day of the open, because I can't jump on my right foot. So I wasn't gonna do the open because I was like, I can't do one, I can't do double unders, and two, the lower extremity adaptive version has single unders. Like I can't even do a single under. Like I can't jump over the rope. And so my coaches at Feast, like credit to them, they're like, have you ever tried on one foot? And I was like, no. They're like, well, now's a good time. So that was literally the first time I'd ever jump roped on one foot. And then we were like kind of preparing for that to be what was in the games. And then they told us that it was double unders. And I was like, I looked at my coach, I was like, I'm gonna stand there and do nothing because I literally have no idea how to double under on one foot. And we stayed at the gym until it closed the night before the event. Like that was the first event, the second day. And we stayed at the gym the night before for like over an hour. And like he basically taught me from scratch how to double under on one foot and like put up with me. Like I was so frustrated, like ready to give up so many times. And he taught me like from scratch how to double under on one foot. And then I went out and like it's something that I never thought in a million years I could do. And I got 100 and won the event. And that just like meant the most to me.
That's incredible. So you went from no double unders to like less than 12 hours away winning a double under event.
Yeah.
That's insane. So
like,
that is a really like, cool moment.
That's the moment.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I was gonna lead into that, like some more of the game stuff. Like you had 6 event wins. Like what was your favorite event? Obviously like the final event, like knowing that you're kind of coming through, like I did it, like I'm gonna be like the lower extremity adaptive champion. But like what was your favorite event just for the physical movements itself? Like it was your jam event almost.
I'd say the deadlift and rope climb one for sure. I love deadlifts. Like there's nothing more fun to me than deadlifting. Obviously the amount of fatigue that we were under coming off of the first event with the ski erg, it definitely made it a little bit harder. But I like just started rope climbing too because that involves feet. And so it was just like fun. Like I just enjoyed those two movements put together, and anytime I get to deadlift, it's like a gift.
Yeah.
So
now would you say that the double under workout was like I don't want to say the hardest workout for you, but like it was released and you're like, this is like a last place event for me? Like, was that what your thoughts?
That whole day I was super nervous for. Yes, that event I was so nervous. I mean, I think I did so I had to do double under step. I did single double unders.
Yep.
So single under, double under step. Because I didn't know how to, we were doing this the night before. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like,
so that was, I was super nervous for that because also we didn't get to practice on the turf.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, they told us the night before, like the day before the briefing, that I was gonna be on the turf, and we're all like, "Oh my god, like, can we practice on the turf?" And they're like, "Actually, no, you can't." So yeah, I was really nervous for that, but I was also really nervous for the swim, because I think that was the same day that was the swim.
Yeah.
And literally the last time I swam in a lake was in 2013.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah. So that was like, I was very nervous for that one too, but luckily in 2013, I did do a triathlon, and because that was like before all of my injuries and surgery and stuff. So I at least had like a little bit of, I knew I was going to survive.
A little prep for it. You weren't going to go to the bottom. Yeah. That's awesome. Now let's talk about the final event. Like you're coming through, you're kind of getting the feeling. You might have had the feeling before you finished, but like that final event, that feeling, like what was it like? What was it like around your other adaptives? I know that it was really special. And I know that like Dave Castro, he really like preached out like how special just the whole feeling of the Coliseum was. Like talk about that a little bit.
Oh my God, that was amazing. I think we were standing there, like lined up, ready to go in, and there was like part of me that was going through like all the technique that me and my coach had picked out, and like very focused on what I had to do. And then there was part of me that was like, I just need to like soak this all in right now.
Yeah.
Like this is absolutely incredible. Like I always in gymnastics, I loved like the bigger crowd, the better, the bigger arena, the better. And like, I was like a mix of trying to like soak it all in and like, then also focus on what I had to do.
No, 100%. Yeah, of course. Like it's the final event. You had 6 wins. So you're kind of like, you're kind of in the steering, like you're kind of like steering the ship at that point. You're like, let's, look up at the lights, like listen to people. That's a pretty cool feeling. Now, when it comes to kind of the games to now, like what is your thoughts like moving forward? Like, are you going to try and compete more? I know, like, for example, Wodapalooza has an incredible like adaptive competition. Like, are you going to try and do more? Like now that you've bitten in a little bit, now you're just going to go after everything. Like what's next?
Yeah, so I got home from the games. I think like 4 days later, I texted my coach. I was like, I know I'm supposed to be like resting and like recovering from this incredible experience, but like I want to compete again. So like, let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I took a week off and then I started training again. And then I think I want to do as many competitions as I can. Wodapalooza just released that, like their information and stuff. So yeah, I would love to compete as many times as I can, but obviously like the most important thing is getting to the games again next year. And I know that it's going to be a lot harder. Or at least I hope that the amount of like media attention around our division, like I hope that other adaptive athletes see that and want to participate. Like I hope that there's a lot more competitors, and I hope a lot more people get interested in adaptive CrossFit. So I'm hoping that the field is going to like continually grow and that the other divisions are going to be included. So I know that as there's more there's more athletes competing, the competitive field is going to get harder and harder, right? So I hope that like there's somebody out there that has a lower extremity impairment that is like, hey, I can do that, you know, like I can finally compete again. And I think that's like, I know that's what I hope. So then like knowing that, like I know the competition is going to get harder and harder every year, and so that's what I'm preparing for. Like I can't just do the same thing and to win again. Like I have to be better. I have to like continually get better. I also like, I personally like know a lot of my weaknesses and I have to work on those. So I just like, I know that everything's gonna get harder and harder each year, as it should.
Because you're like a body, like you're kind of like a bodying power, you know. It's a lot of athletes talk about how like, yeah, all right, I'm Val Cohen, like I'm the 2021 champion, but like I hope I can empower people to see me and like be like, I can do that, you know. I want to do what Val did, you know. You guys are kind of like those you're part of like the founding group that like wants other people, I feel like, to see the adaptive divisions and then be like, I want to try and do that. Or even just, you know, CrossFit as a wholesome community. Like that's really what it's about, is like the affiliates. Just seeing and be like, I want to try CrossFit. I want to live a healthier lifestyle. Just empowering people that way. And that kind of leads me into kind of like my next question for you is like, what is your goal inside of like CrossFit as a wholesome community, like being part of that adaptive community? Because I know you guys are so tight knit. Like, what is like something you'd say to someone that's like maybe a lower extremity or an upper extremity like member of like just society, that like if they want to live a healthier lifestyle, like that they can do it? Like what are your words to them?
So I think the most I guess why this whole thing means so much to me is because I never in a million years thought I could compete in it. Like I thought like my athletic career was over. Like I couldn't walk for 2 years. I still can't jump. Like everything's still uneven. I can't squat full depth and whatever. There's so many things that I can't do. And so I never thought that I'd be able to compete again. And this adaptive community and adaptive CrossFit has opened that door, and it's like, okay, I can compete again. There's so many things that I can't do, but there are so many things now that I can do. And so I hope that other people in similar situations with like similar impairments, they can look at that and say like, wow, I can do that. Like I can't do so many things. Like there's so many things that I can't do, but I can do that. And like that is so inspiring to me. And that's like why I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's such a positive and like beautiful outlook on like a lot of people, especially in like today's society. You just like hammer in and focus on like the negative aspects, when really like every negative aspect, there's probably a positive, if not like two positive aspects, or just different things that you can do, you know? And that's really what I find. Like I saw like when watching the adaptive divisions, it was like, man, there's so many excuses out there. But like in this 5-minute workout, like there is no excuse. Like if you're here and like you do CrossFit, just go like YouTube, adaptive athletes division, and just watch them work out. You have zero excuses. Like it does not matter. Like hard day at work doesn't matter. Like that's what I was talking about earlier. Like if like the adaptive athletes, when you watch them, like you guys are serious serious athletes. Like I would be very nervous to work out next to you guys, especially like, I mean, like Logan, for example, like he deadlifted over 500 pounds. Like that is silly.
Oh my God.
Like I challenge everybody, like go on YouTube, like type in the like adaptive divisions, or even like the masters divisions, like all of them, like just look it up. Like if they're in your community, like class with you, like I would be very nervous, but also super inspired. Like my best example is like my father's, like he's over 50, and he was like, I can't work out, yada yada yada, and he watched the masters division. Like it's the same thing. I feel like when there's like especially younger individuals, like younger adaptives out there, like if there's like a younger girl, like I really hope like this can help inspire her hearing your story, being like, there is things I can do. Like, it's not over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's totally like a mindset, like when you're out there competing, it's not like there's no like feeling sorry for yourself. There's no excuses. And that's amazing. Like we have all been through so much, and to be able to say like to put aside everything that we can't do and make the best of what we can do. I think, at least for me, like physically, this is like the first time in my life that I've just sort of like put aside everything that I can't do and just focus on what I can do and making that better. And that is like a gift. It's
Yeah,
a gift.
100%. Now into the future, what is your goal? Obviously, like 2021 champ, like 2022 champ. I would assume, it may not be, but I would assume it would be. But like, what else do you have? Like what else is in store for you coming into kind of the rest of the year into next year?
Yeah, so I think I definitely have a lot of weaknesses that I still need to work on. Definitely like found a bunch of those as we were training for the games. But yeah, I just like, I hope that more people participate in adaptive CrossFit, and that, and knowing that it's just going to get harder and harder. And so I have to be better and better. And that's like, I know that it's not going to be easy, but I hope it will be worth it. So
100%. Well, Val, if you ever come back out and visit your friends here in Boston, I'd love to work out together. I'd love to throw down. You have to let me know.
I will.
But guys, seriously, reach out to Val if you're someone out there that has that's part of that adaptive community, or if you're someone out there that's just super inspired by her story, reach out. I'm sure Val will gladly talk with you and inspire you. You inspired me this morning. I want to like go deadlift heavy or try like a single foot double under, because I would assume I cannot do a 1-footed double under. Now I'm like gonna go try it. But thank you so much for coming on. This was incredible.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome. I appreciate it a lot.
For sure.